So one of the key things about the biodynamic farmer or gardener is that they hold the consciousness of their farm individuality, and in holding that consciousness they are saying, I will work with this space to enhance the vitality of the land and what I grow on it. So that means that you are actually giving your time willingly to put preparations on the land. So simply one of our main preparations is called horn manure or 500, and that to produce that has been a 6-month process, and once you have produced that horn manure you've got something that is a bit like a homeopathic gift to the land, so something that enhances fertility and works with a kind of rooting, earthy impulse in the land. So in order to apply that to the land you would stir that in water for 1 hour. Now when you're a busy farmer or a gardener, to actually take 1 hour out to say I will work with this preparation for the land, it's a decision in your consciousness, and you do that in accordance to the where the moon is in the zodiac and in accordance to a planting calendar, and you're therefore as the farmer consciously saying I work with the cosmic rhythms and I bring them down into the earthly realm and I use my will to do that. And for me that is a really important aspect of biodynamics and a really beautiful aspect of biodynamics, because you're working for the future, and it's for something greater than yourself, and it's for the earth. It's not an economic impulse, it's a gift. And for me that is a really wonderful aspect of biodynamics, that you have to take this wider picture into consideration. And in using these preparations to feed the land, so there are preparations that we put into the compost, and in putting those preparations into the compost we're working with herbs to essentially make the land more sensitive. So you're connecting your compost heap to the earth that you're working, and in this cycle of composting and adding herbal preparations and then putting it back onto the land and then working with the cosmic rhythms, you are enabling the soil and also the plants that go into the soil to develop a cosmic sensitivity. And when we talk about these plants being more enlivened or more vital, what the belief is that vitality, that enlivened food that we're putting into our body, not only works in our physical body, but it works on our thinking as well. And in eating enlivened food, we enliven our body and our thinking.
This is the main segment.
You like bugs? Yeah.
There's an understanding that if we eat food that is well grown in fertile, natural soils, if we eat food that has been prepared with love, slowly, with integrity, it cannot but enhance and flavour our own consciousness and therefore our thinking process. So thinking food has been hovering around my own work as an artist for many a year. And every day, every mouthful became the environmental challenge and guide to a way that we could think about food as having an impact politically on the whole of our culture. That if we thought about what went into our mouths every day, every mouthful, we would then become seriously environmental activists.
Miche and I have Touchstone collaborations. We're working with the BDA, with Hawkwood, and we've created some food to share with you. But just before we do that, just to give you a little bit of a context in terms of Taste Garden and a wider project that arts and research project that we're doing called Thinking Food. How can we think differently about food, and how can food help us think differently? And a really core element of the work that we're doing is bringing food to the table, bringing food right into the heart of the conversations, experiencing food as part of a thinking process. And projects are evolving with Hawkwood College, with the Field Centre, which is a very inspiring project emerging at the Ruskin Mill Trust, a building that is building itself. We are working with the Asher Centre and a project in South Africa looking at how to create a biodynamic urban food garden with young people growing up in Savour town who may have no experience of soil. And then just to briefly give you a sense of the journey of this food to this table, the bread that we're sharing has been baked by Daphne Lambert, who is an extraordinary nutritionist and cook, now in a residency at Trill Farm, who is also Miche's soil sister. They have a long-time collaboration called Soil Sisters. The olive oil.
The olive oil is called Weissflog, but it's actually an Italian biodynamic olive oil. The olives are hand-picked
By virgins.
by virgins in white gowns, bare feet. Help yourselves, pass them round, take the plate, pass them round, and then pause a moment while we have the grace, which I would like to invite.
For sun and rain, for grass and grain, for all who toil on sea and soil, that we may eat our daily food, we give our love and thanks to God.
Blessings on the bite.
So this preparation we make in a very particular way. We take the flowers and then we make sausages by taking what we normally make sausages of, which are pieces of intestine from a cow. Bovine, beef sausages. We make beef sausages, used to make them that way anyway. Instead of putting meat in them, we put chamomile flowers in them. And then these chamomile flowers are buried in the earth over the winter. And they turn into something like a compost material by the spring. And it's that substance that we then put in small amounts in the compost. So that's a very unusual process, but all the way through we're staying completely with what's alive, or has been. You know, we're using some animal material using plant material. It's not something that's created in the laboratory. And this has a very powerful, life-giving, vital effect on the soil then.
Working on Anthropists, I've been working on these machines for the last 20 years. And there are some with 3 axes of rotation.
3 axes? And you use these machines?
Yeah, they are useful, yeah. I mean, there's not, they have them in the Wegman clinic in Arnsberg in Switzerland, because they're super efficient computers, super efficient, as you say. But they're very difficult to make. It took them years to develop. I know somebody who worked on the project.
Take it away!
What's that? All this weekend we've been speaking and eating quality. And we somehow think or feel that we have a relationship to what is qualitative. But it hasn't been taught to us what it is. And the Enlightenment has given us quite wonderful ability to break down the external world and analyse it. And let's not be a bit too sniffy about the achievements of the Enlightenment and mechanistic thinking, because it's got us all here to this wonderful festival, for example. We should honour what it's brought us. Can you experience how you judge something and say that is good, and you judge something else and say that is bad? And there's somewhere inside you that does that. All you got to do at first is to think, where does that come from? I know where it comes from when I say 2 + 2 = 4, and so do you. Do I know where it comes from when I say that the middle C chord does something very different to me than that E minor 7? Because it does.
Through all the investigations, discovered that the physical amount of B12 that we need in a lifetime is the size of a paracetamol tablet.
Is she a vegetarian?
A vegan.
There are some herbs.
Micronutrients.
But micronutrients, yeah, it's that in terms of physical matter. Yeah, that's amazing. To be able to visualise it.
Visualise it, yeah. It's about quality. And you actually need much less food if it's grown well and has the vitality that we need. The body goes, thank you, I don't need so much of that. And it gets transformed in a completely different way.
I think we're looking for emotional nutrition a lot through our food. And
that's
that
what
makes us
are we
eat
hungry
far
for?
more,
Exactly.
and, yeah.
What are we hungry for?
Marolo, yenko kele marol banne, jamfa kele marol banne.